Hey hippies, it's Courtney Shavante here. I'm back with another banging resin tutorial for you guys. So today we are going to be working with my little line art coaster here. I love her because she has this like beautiful little afro. You see the little flowers in her hair. It's kind of hard to see on the molds because they are translucent, which means you can use them with UV resin at any step, promo. But anyway, yeah, this is what we're going to be working on moving forward and everything. So if you're excited to see what I do with this coaster, make sure you do stay tuned and also hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything that I do put out for you hippies moving forward. And let's get started. Alright hippies, so to get started, we're going to go ahead and prep our work area with my mica powders and my resin that I already have pre-mixed. I have 60 milliliters here. I'm going to put half off to the side. So with this first half, I'm going to be adding in some of this orange mica powder that I have here. I'm going to add in just like a tiny little bit. Next, I'm going to add in this glow powder. Now the glow powder, you want to make sure that you stir it in very well because it doesn't dissolve at the same rate of that mica powder. So definitely be mindful of that. Once I have my powders mixed in really well, I'm going to go ahead and add in some alcohol ink. This is going to help break up any like little chunks or any bubbles that may have formed in there. So once I do have everything mixed in very thoroughly, I don't have any chunks, I'm going to start pouring into the mold on one side. I'm using a little bit at a time, and I'm using my stir stick to really focus in on these etchings because that's going to help make sure you have a nice clean look, and it's going to also make sure that no bubbles get trapped inside those etchings and mess up what you have going on. Go ahead and move on to the clear side, and I want you to do the same exact thing using that clear resin, using that stir stick to really get into the etchings and just alternate back and forth so you have like this like kind of half and half type deal going on here. Now this is so essential to the look of this particular coaster because this coaster has a very large clear portion, and I really want to make sure that you guys know what to do to get that bubble free crisp look that I'm going for. So with the remainder of my clear resin, which is about maybe 10 milliliters or so, I'm adding in some of this peach burst glitter mix that I have here. It's available on my website as well, and I'm going to just kind of pour this down the middle where the colors meet, creating this like little funky line so it's not completely straight because that's not what I'm going for, but it is going to be a clear marking separating where that clear and that orange is. Go ahead and fill the mold, pour enough resin to where it makes sense and to where the mold is completely filled, and pay attention to where the colors are bleeding into. Then just allow this to cure. I let it cure 24 hours since we were only doing one layer. I want to make sure it was nice and hard. But what we're going to do now is just go ahead and demold this. You want to wiggle the mold and remember to only pull the mold, never bend the resin, and then the mold will pop out. I'm sorry, your resin will pop out nicely. See how clean that is? If you have any excess, just kind of pull it off from here. Now we're going to go ahead and paint these etchings. I'm sorry, I'm apologizing in advance because my video did cut out on me and everything. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking this white acrylic paint and I'm using my paintbrush to go over the surface of this, making sure that I have the etchings completely filled in and that there aren't any gaps. And once it's filled, I'm going to let the paint dry completely. Okay, so the paint is dry. You guys can see where I had all of the paint on and everything, so it wasn't completely clean. But now I'm just taking a damp rag and I sprayed my piece down using a bit of alcohol to moisten the dry paint a bit. And now I'm just wiping away the excess using a rag. So use that damp rag, make sure that you alternate what spot you're wiping with so it doesn't continue to drag the paint all around. And just get in between those letters and in between those lines, clean this up the absolute best you can because we're going to be sealing everything in next. Now we're going to take our pre-mixed resin here. I have about 20 milliliters, but I did not use the full 20. I start by pouring a bit of the clear resin directly into the center of the mold piece, and I'm also making sure to work on an even surface. That's very important. They have leveling boards available on Amazon, and I do have one linked on my Amazon storefront for you guys too, just to make your resin crafting easier and to, you know, make it less stressful. But I'm basically pouring the resin directly into the center of the coaster, and then I'm spreading it outwards. Doing that helps prevent overage for me because I don't like using the liquid latex all the time, especially with square or rectangle type pieces, just because I usually don't have to. It usually only falls off if I'm using something that has like a regular edging or something like that. So as long as I'm working on an even surface, I usually don't have to, you know, add the protective layer using that liquid latex, and I can get straight to doming. But when you're doming, you do want to make sure that you're getting into those etchings where bubbles can form. You want to make sure you're getting around the edges as well, so the epoxy is going all the way towards the edges and it isn't just pulling towards the middle. Then after it's even, you're going to let that completely cure. Ta-da! Here is our finished project, hippies. I am obsessed with this line art coaster. Like, I love how she just got her little middle finger up. I'm loving like these little affirmations on here. I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch, I am gonna go get that bag, I am not gonna take your shit. That's something that we need to be repeating to ourselves in the mirror on a daily basis. You hear me? I know you feel me. But you guys see what I'm talking about with that clear resin and everything. You see how clear and beautiful that is and bubble free. Like, that's the look that I was going for, and I'm just in love with how it turned out. I love how the orange looks on here. Like, I love her little flower crown in the side. Like, I love how this coaster looks from every single angle. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, I don't have any shots of this actually glowing in the dark, but I will post some pictures for you guys on my community tab, so that way you can still see it and see that glow action and everything. But I hope you guys are obsessed with this mold as much as I am. Make sure you leave me a like and a comment. You know I love hearing from you, hippies. I'll tell you that on every single video. Hit me up. Even if I don't respond, I see everything and it just makes me feel so good, and I do my very best. But until next time, hippies, I'll catch you later. XO. Mwah.